Welcome back to Onboard Lifestyle. You know, this world has been crazy the last few weeks, and it doesn't look like there's an end in sight, at least not yet. This situation with COVID-19 has affected the entire planet. It has affected us too. Our long-term plans are up in the air right now. It is tough to forecast where we're going to be 6 months from now, a year from now. You know, we had a good idea a month ago. We had it all laid out. But now it has changed. You know, our short-term plans is about as far as we could see into the future right now. With this virus, we're going to have to change things. We're not going to travel when we want. We're not going to do projects when we want. Everything's up in the air. So we're going to take some time and talk a little bit about how it's affecting us right now and what we think needs to happen for the safety of our family in the near future. You know, we're in a very unique situation here on SV Basic. We're in Oregon, and we have hot spots. Washington State to the north and California, another hot spot to the south. Oregon has about 10 times less infected people. And that's going to play a big part in our decision making on whether we travel south or not. I mean, ultimately, we wanted to be in California here in a couple of weeks. But I don't see that happening. Right now, we're in Astoria. And this county doesn't have one case yet. That plays a big role in our decision making. This is probably the safest place we could be on the whole West Coast right now. So we'll probably be here for at least another week and then make a decision. Do we stay another week or do we start traveling south? And these are things that we're going to have to decide week by week. Right now, it's a no-brainer. This is about the best place we could be, and we're staying. That means we have to prepare. Before any cases hit Astoria, and I'm sure they're coming, I mean, this is a worldwide epidemic, and you know, we're not going to be isolated here for very long. We want to make sure that we're prepared. Lynn's inside right now, going through our provisions and getting a game plan for food for over the next month or two for us. We want to make sure that we stay quarantined on the boat as long as we can. I think it's the safest thing for us. It's the safest thing for our family. It's the safest thing for this community. We want to do everything we can to stop the spread. SV Basic is sitting in a good position in this marina. We're way out on an end tie. There isn't any boats within hundreds of feet of us. I have been watching the traffic in this marina. There's maybe one or two liveaboards that I've seen, and that's it. And they're a couple docks down. The traffic flow, occasionally we'll see somebody walk up and down the dock, but not in recent days. So where we're at is going to be a pretty safe place, at least for the immediate future.
So you guys see, I have my pantry all out. This is so I can just kind of take an inventory. I try to find any excuse possible to pull this out. Teal doesn't like it because it takes up everything. But this will give me a good visual of our inventory levels. Yesterday I already started with our fridge and freezer, and I defrosted and cleaned everything out and gave me a sense of what was in the freezer and what we were low on. For the most part, we're not low on much in the freezer in regards to protein, but we are a little low on fresh produce. I like having as much produce as possible, and we don't really know what's happening right now. We're gonna go to the store today to go pick some of that up, and then also top off anything that we're low on. For the most part, we are well provisioned for the next 2 months if we had to, and it wouldn't even faze us. But you know, I mean, it's better safe than sorry. What I have here is it's 50 containers, and each container is 16 cups or 4 liters of things that I can fill up. I like having these because they're all in one, it's uniform, and I can see everything. Plus, I can unpackage all of our containers and have less garbage and waste when we head out. But all of these containers hold just basics. I have my grains, I have my flour, sugars, and a lot of spices. I don't do anything pre-made, so it just kind of, to me, it's a lot more versatile to prepare meals on board instead of having specialty items. I try to steer clear away from cans because I don't like the rust, and I just don't like just having those clink around. So buying things in bulk actually also saves me a lot of money. You know, it's pretty amazing after all this time how many of these containers fit into this. I mean, 39 containers is an awful lot. And I like doing these little inventory checks on all of our provisions because sometimes I change things out, and you guys saw that I relabeled some items, and it's because sometimes I have more pasta or want to accommodate for some tin canned foods. So it's just really nice to have, and I can access and see everything from right here. I love my pantry.
We usually take the bus to go to the grocery store, but because we're practicing social distancing, today we're going to take the dinghy.
Emma, watch your head, duck down.
No, I don't want to. I don't.
Picked up a couple items at the store. Wasn't too bad. I think it's about a 2-mile trip each way, so about 4.5 miles. And wind's starting to pick up, and it's getting kind of chilly, so I'm glad to be back. I think we did pretty good. This will last us about, I don't know, probably a couple weeks, maybe 3 weeks if we can stretch it, in regards to fresh produce. We're pretty good. It's not as if we're scared. We just want to limit the amount of times we go to the store. As a matter of fact, when we took the dinghy ride, Teal and Emma stayed in the dinghy, and I went ashore. I washed my hands. I went about doing whatever I needed to do. And we came back, and I washed everything prior to bringing it on board. It's nice to have a sink outside, by the way. But, it's better safe than sorry. These are uncertain times, and we just don't know. There's a lot of unknowns with this virus, and it's just better to just err on the safer side.
Because of COVID-19, schools all around the United States closed, except for mine. I've been homeschooling for about 2 years, and I don't get weekends off, or teacher meetings off, or late starts or anything. But that's okay, because I still really like school, and I have the most amazing, awesome teachers in the world. I think we need to redo that last scene again.
Go away.
Because we're practicing social distancing, I can't just go out and meet kids and just hang out with them. So I've gotten creative, and I do group chats and FaceTime with my cousins and my friends. And that is a good way to stay in touch, and it's better than nothing.
So, Oregon State has just announced their stay-at-home ordinance for the entire state of Oregon. How does that affect us?
well, it affects us. Actually, it's a gray area.
Okay, it is. It really is a gray area because, okay, we're not residents of Oregon, for one. That doesn't mean that we would not abide by their rules and their laws. But
how does it affect a cruiser that's traveling through?
Yes.
And so we approached the port office here and asked that question.
Right. So I called over there and because all their offices are closed at this point. And, you know, they said they would rather that we stay here. We can continue moving, but they do not recommend us going to the next port of call unless we contact them
and get
clearance, because who's to say that once we get there that they won't turn us away or fine us.
Right.
And I did call them. I called them numerous times already. And right now, the next port of call, their office is closed until April 1st. They said that they're on a scale-back crew in light of the COVID-19 crisis. And
just leave a message.
They suggested that we leave a detailed message on what we want to do. It's kind of hard to explain that we just are passing through, but, you know, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that they'll
at least give us some information.
And just kind of give us some guidance because, you know, right now in the county that we're in, there has been one case.
Yep, one popped up today. Yep.
Was it yesterday or today?
Last night.
So yesterday there was one case. The next county that we want to go into has 0 as of today. That doesn't mean it's not going to change.
Right.
And then
look at the number changed today for us.
Right. And then the next port of call is also 0. The coastal towns, for the most part, are not as affected.
Not yet.
All the way down to Northern California, from what we're looking at right now.
So our hope is that we could get clearance and start moving. Once we get this information back, we would love to just start hopping down and get through Oregon and into at least Northern California. These are not hot spots. It looks like it's safe for us to travel. It's just getting that clearance before we enter each port.
But at the same time, we want to be as safe as possible. We want to, you know, be cautious in our travels. You know, we are self-quarantined already. This is our little entity.
Yeah, it's our nature of our lifestyle.
Yeah, and, you know, but trying to have other people understand that while we're traveling, because it's almost like an oxymoron. You know, you're social distancing and you're
moving at the same time.
And you're moving at the same time. But we're just trying to make sure that the boat stays fully provisioned. So if we do get the clearance, that we can continue moving. We're going to take every precaution that we can when we go into port and lit our contact with other people, because who's to say we don't have it? We don't have it.
Yeah.
Not yet. Not yet. I mean, we don't know. There's so many unknowns with this, and it is scary out there.
But you know what? Now, we're not going to let this get us down, and we're not going to sit here and sulk and do nothing. We still have our lives to live.
Yeah, we still have plenty of projects that we can
food,
do here.
We have entertainment.
We have each other. We're so lucky that, you know, we have our family in place with us. You know, there are other people that are separated right now, some in different countries. You know, we have friends that are in foreign countries that they can't even swim in the water. They can't go to shore, and they're stuck on their boats.
So we have it pretty easy.
So we have it pretty good. I'm not going to complain too much. No, I'm just kidding. You know, I just feel like we've had so many obstacles, and it's very easy to stay negative, but I'm going to choose to stay positive about this, because if we all do our part, then we can get back to normal life and be able to travel.
So in the meantime, we wait for information, and if we get that information, I think we just start trickling our way down the coast, if it's possible, if we're allowed to. If not, we still have plenty to do on this boat.
Well, we have plenty to do, but this also will cut into our sail plan project, because I don't know
how to get materials
because everybody is on scale back plans.
Right.
So this may give us a little hiccup It doesn't mean that it's going to stop.
No. And we do have plenty of projects on board
With
plenty of material that we
stuff,
can stay busy for weeks.
Gosh, I'm lucky. So that's where we're at right now, and I know that you guys...
So basically we talked for 5 minutes, said we're in limbo.
Well, you know, I mean...
It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, everybody out there has their own hardships, but we're trying to share ours with you guys, and we hope you guys all stay safe. So, in the meantime, we are drinking our sorrows away.
You have to stay hydrated.
So, there you go.
Thanks for watching this week's episode of Onboard Lifestyle. The COVID-19 virus has turned the world upside down, and we will do our best to stay safe and healthy. We hope you guys will do the same so that we can all get back to our normal lives. Come back next week to see how this pandemic affects our travels. Remember to be kind, and see you then!